So now we are open to interaction.
We believe that we are in Kaliyug, and it is so difficult to keep our mind in one focus. So, given that we are in this time, which of the yogas do you think is relatively easier to grasp or follow the path?
You see, it's like this. Even in the other yogas, there were people and situations which were not so good for the practice of spiritual practices. But now it seems to have escalated a bit, and things are a little more difficult because people are more oriented towards extrovert living, and the introversion has become lesser and lesser. I understand that. And the circumstances around are such that we cannot, it's difficult even to sit quietly for some time and practice. I agree, all that is true, but there is no particular way or path that one can follow which I can generalize on, because it depends on the individual. Now, there is no common method. The final understanding is that one should go within, take our minds away from the outside world and go within, even for some time every day, which will help. But there is no, for instance, there are people who are very so-called heart-oriented. They see things in colors, music, patterns. You walk with such people and they will stop somewhere where you don't see anything and say, "Oh, how nice, that dry leaf is lying like this." And you wonder what this dry leaf is lying there, why is it lying like this? So there are such people. Now for them, the path to be followed should be that where there is imagination, visualization, And I think by and large, most people in this yoga are so extrovert that their minds are always what Krishna calls in the Gita form-oriented. Form-oriented. You see, form-oriented, what do we do early morning when we get up? We go and look at the mirror at our own face. We are form-oriented. We live with form and nama rupa, it's called, the name and form. So therefore, I think in general for people in this Kaliyug, it is better to take up spiritual practices which have some imagination, some forms, some names, something that is a little bit attractive to the senses. But at the same time, doesn't take you away from your path. So therefore, a little bit of ritualistic thing may be good for some. The ideal would be a perfect combination of all this, but that is very difficult to come by. But generally, I think you should approach it in a way where you are not, instead of being distracted by the sight of what happens in the world, you can interpret it as an extension of divinity. Then there is a possibility that one might. Now, the other thing about whether in this busy world I can sit down and meditate at all, I don't agree. It's possible if one really wants to do. This is not, it's my experience. People say, I learned meditation but I am not able. I said, why? Half an hour daily, can't you do it? No, I can't. Morning I have to take the dog for a walk. Then what? Then I have to play golf. So what about evening? Evening, my tennis club thing I can't get off from. Okay. Then I don't ask afterwards, after 7, because I know where they go. So if you really want, because many people are accustomed nowadays, after 7 they imbibe the spirit. So it is difficult to be spiritual, you see. So all that we can understand. But if you really want, and if it is your priority, then you will certainly be able to fix your idea. A little bit of guidance may be necessary in this matter, so that somebody keeps reminding you, come on, don't give up. Just keep doing, don't give up.
But would half an hour be good time?
Sir, to start with, even half an hour is great. Once we have it, then maybe we can expand further. At least half an hour. See, even if it is in the morning, then you have cleansed your system before you enter the world. By afternoon, it will get a little bit muddied, but it's okay. Through practice, it is possible to do. I am telling you, if it's possible for me, why is it not possible for you? I don't understand. I didn't fall from heaven. I worked hard, I did many things, and I moved. So, yeah.
I'll speak loudly. So for a person who is not very well, who is not very physically sick, but has limitation, how would he or she be able to do the yogic procedures?
So let me repeat the question. For a person who is not absolutely physically okay, fit, how is it possible for such a person to practice yoga? Now I want to know what you mean by not fit.
Like, not a great disaster. Like, for example, he or she is not able to do this breathing exercises.
Why?
They have cough or irritation in the throat, or there's a pressure on the.
Right. So the thing is, the example he says is that one is not able to breathe or do the pranayam properly because there is irritation in the throat or some blockage somewhere, someone can't do it. Well, it is the job of the yoga teacher because yoga is not only a preventive and health activity, it's also a therapy. So, it is the job of the yoga teacher to teach you specially, in some special way, how to do pranayam so that you can do it even with your problems. As long as you are conscious that you are not unconscious. I mean, in a coma you cannot get somebody to do pranayam, but if you are conscious, there are ways and means which individually a teacher would be able to gauge and assess and figure out how to make you do the pranayam. Now yoga is not only pranayam, as I said before, there are many other parts in yoga. This is possible. But suppose somebody is amputated his limbs. Now you cannot sit in Padmasana, for instance. But it is not really necessary that one should sit in Padmasana to practice yoga, while it is ideal. Ideal because from ancient times you will see all meditators sitting in that posture, so much so that it is now in the West called the Buddha posture, because the Buddha sat always in Padmasana. You see any picture, anything, he is sitting in Padmasana.